You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic.
This has to be the craziest thing I've ever heard. Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. So, Bears fans, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I did not really want to talk about this because everyone's been already talking about it on social media, but I just wanted to come on here really quick and give my 2 cents on what RG3 had to say about Caleb Williams coming to Chicago. He went on YouTube the other day and made a little video and kind of went on a rant and basically sat there and told Caleb Williams that he should contact the Chicago Bears and say, I'm not coming to Chicago, and basically pull an Eli Manning. And I'm going to go ahead and before I give my little spiel on my 2 cents on this whole situation that RG3 was claiming about Caleb Williams pulling an Eli Manning and saying that I'm not coming to Chicago. Let me go ahead and just show you the video before we move forward. Check this out, Bears fans.
Caleb Williams should pull a Eli Manning and demand that the Chicago Bears do not draft him #1 overall. After everything that's happened with Justin Fields, can Caleb Williams really look at that and say, you know what? This is the organization that has my best interests at heart, and they're going to help develop me into the player that I want to become. Caleb Williams is on record saying that he wants to be legendary. He wants to rewrite history, and he wants to be the best that he can possibly be and win the most games he can possibly win. After the Bears took Justin Fields, the 11th pick in the draft, and turned him into a 6th round pick in the 2025 draft by trading him to the Pittsburgh Steelers, can Caleb Williams really look at that and say, you know what? Yeah, this organization is going to help get me where I want to go. I don't think it's saying that. Eli Manning had power in that 2004 draft. And he let the Chargers know, don't draft me. I don't believe in the direction that your organization is going, and I don't want to play there. He refused to play for them, even threatened to sit out an entire season if they drafted him. And they still drafted him. And the look on his face when he's holding up the jersey said everything. So what happened? The Chargers traded him to the New York Giants for Phillip Rivers, also a 2004 3rd-round pick, and then the 1st and 5th round picks in the 2005 NFL draft. What did Eli end up doing? He won 2 Super Bowls for the New York Giants. Had a great career. So, for Caleb Williams, don't get me wrong, guys. I thought Ryan Poles was having an amazing offseason up until this trade for Justin Fields. Because you trade Justin Fields so you can get some players back to help your team out this year. Because Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus, the head coach for the Chicago Bears, they're in a lame duck season. They have to win this year or they're going to get fired. And don't get me wrong. Hey, hand the football off to DeAndre Swift, throwing the ball to Keenan Allen and DJ Moore and Cole Kmet. Those guys are phenomenal. This ain't anything about them. This is about Caleb Williams and what team out there gives him the best chance to be successful. Only he can deem that. Yes, I do think him going back to Washington, where he's from, he's a D.C. kid, went to Gonzaga College High School, okay? I think that's the best spot for him. But he has to answer that question. And if he says, all right, I see everything that's been going on, and now I can make the decision and say, I don't think that the Chicago Bears are the best place for me or my family to accomplish all the goals that we want to accomplish, then he needs to let that be known. He does have power right now, and he should exercise it if he feels like Chicago is not where he should be.
First and foremost, Bears fans, I want to give RG3 a whole lot of credit because when he was making this video, he had a whole lot of passion. He was really into it. And I think in his mind, he made a lot of sense. I know there's been times where I've been completely wrong, but since I was talking with so much passion and I had a lot of passion about what I was talking about, in my mind, I thought I was right. And that's the same thing RG3 was going through in this moment. Since he's talking with so much passion and so much heart, in his mind, he probably thought he was making a lot of sense. But this has to be, Bears fans, the worst take I have heard in a while. And I have seen a lot of great takes. I have seen a lot of really bad takes coming from RG3. I feel like RG3 is a great media personality. I actually enjoy some of his takes. But this one, to me, Bears fans, definitely takes the cake. And it's probably one of the worst takes I have seen in a long, long time. The fact that he is claiming that Caleb Williams should not come to Chicago and pull an Eli Manning is absolutely ridiculous. Once again, you guys have heard it all over social media, and I'm going to say it once again on today's episode of Geek on the Mic. Caleb Williams is coming into one of the best situations we have ever seen a number one overall pick quarterback come into. You are talking about two possibly top 12, top 10 receivers in DJ Moore, in Keenan Allen. You are talking about a top 10 tight end in Cole Kmet, a very good tight end too in Gerald Everett. You're talking about a very good running back in DeAndre Swift. You also have Roshan Johnson and Khalil Herbert. An improving offensive line, a top 10 defense that will continue to add possibly in the 2024 NFL draft by maybe adding Jared Verse or Dallas Turner. You have the right offensive coaches in place in Shane Waldron that will actually play to Caleb Williams' strengths right away. A defensive coach in Matt Eberflus that's going to have this defense playing at a high level. You already have the culture built here in Chicago. All the pieces are in place for Caleb Williams to come in here and succeed right away. Once again, RG3 came on and was like, you know what? Caleb Williams says that he wants to be legendary. And he basically claims that he will not be able to do that in Chicago, but then claims that he should go to Washington, where he's from, his hometown, and be legendary there. Sorry to break it to you, RG3, but the Chicago Bears have a way better situation than the Commanders, a way better situation than the New England Patriots. The Chicago Bears, Ryan Poles, have built something truly special here in Chicago. And if Caleb Williams comes in, if Caleb Williams is that guy, the generational talent, the franchise-changing player that all the analysts say that he is, this Chicago Bears football team could be absolutely special right away just by drafting quarterback Caleb Williams. So to me, for him to come out and say that Caleb Williams to say, hey, I'm going to pull an Eli Manning, I am not coming to Chicago. I do not want to go there because I know what the Chicago Bears have done to quarterbacks in the past. But that is the past. Justin Fields situation, Mitch Trubisky situation were totally different situations compared to the one Caleb Williams is going to be walking into. This is the perfect situation for Caleb Williams to be successful. The perfect situation. I understand that there may be some interest for Caleb Williams to go back to his hometown in DC and play for the Washington Commanders. It makes total sense. I totally get that. And I understand that RG3 possibly has some concerns about the Chicago Bears developing quarterbacks, which I do too. But Ryan Poles, Matt Eberflus, and the Chicago Bears have done a very good job of building this franchise the right way. They built the foundation from the ground up. They built a good culture. They brought the right pieces in here in terms of bringing the right players and coaches in here to actually develop talent like Caleb Williams. This is the perfect situation for Caleb Williams. Maybe RG3 was doing this maybe just for clicks, but I can't even say that because when you listen to his words, he is very passionate. He's very adamant that what he is saying is correct. And that's why it's one of the worst takes I have ever seen in a very long time. The Washington Commanders do not have a better situation than the Chicago Bears. The New England Patriots do not have a better situation than the Chicago Bears. Not only will we be able to add Caleb Williams, we still have the number 9 overall pick. You can add another top-end talent and maybe an edge rusher like Jared Verse or Dallas Turner. You can trade down and continue to build around Caleb Williams. The situation going on in Chicago is so fascinating to me. And I have to give Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears a whole lot of credit because it seems like for the first time ever in Chicago Bears franchise history that they finally built this team, this roster, and the culture the right way. So once again, if Caleb Williams is that guy, that franchise-changing, franchise-altering player, the Chicago Bears are going to be set for years and years to come. My last point on the whole RG3 situation. I think he is really just speaking out of emotion because how they did Justin Fields. He's one of those guys that feel like they did Justin Fields dirty, which to me, I also feel that way as well. But at this moment, it is time to move on. Justin Fields is no longer a Chicago Bear, even though we can have that discussion that, yes, they didn't do Justin Fields all the best favors, right? They didn't do Justin Fields a solid whatsoever. He was dealt with a rebuild, but it's time to move on. Justin Fields is now a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it's now time to look towards Caleb Williams coming in here and being the new franchise quarterback of the Chicago Bears. Not only that, Bears fans, if Caleb Williams is that franchise-altering player and he comes to Chicago and he's successful, he beats the Green Bay Packers, he wins some playoff games, eventually maybe takes us to the Super Bowl or maybe even wins the Chicago Bears the Super Bowl, they will build, the city of Chicago will build Caleb Williams a statue outside of Soldier Field. That's how passionate Chicago is about the Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams has the opportunity to come to the Chicago Bears and be the first ever franchise quarterback ever for the Chicago Bears. He has the opportunity to be the first ever 3,000-yard passer, the first ever 30 touchdown passer. He can eclipse all those marks and instantly become a legendary Chicago Bears player in the history of the Chicago Bears. So RG3, I do appreciate your passion and your will to want to be correct on this statement, but this statement, this remark on the whole Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears situation, you were far off. This is the perfect situation. This is the best situation for Caleb Williams or any rookie quarterback to be coming into. So Bears fans, before I let you guys go, let me know down below in the comment section how you feel about what RG3 had to say about how Caleb Williams should pull an Eli Manning and tell the Chicago Bears that I'm not coming to Chicago. Let me know how you feel about it down below in the comment section. But as always, Bears fans, make sure you continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Geek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, be back for an all-new Bears podcast right here on Geek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and as always, bear down.
You've been listening to Geek on the Mic, a podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Thanks, guys, and bear down.